Just before Manchester United's encounter with Arsenal in the Premier League yesterday, I remember I had a conversation with a friend and I was telling him that Manchester United was going to win that match, just like the club won Man City some 2 weeks ago. But the friend was arguing. He didn't believe. He said that we shouldn't expect that Manchester United will come out victorious just because they won Man City, and that it's not possible that the club has bounced back. But then we also what happened yesterday. The game ended 3-2, of course, in favor of Manchester United, and it just gives us an idea of what to expect, in the remainder of the season. Welcome back to the channel, guys. I hope that you all had a very great weekend. I know that for Manchester United fans all over the world, it was a particularly interesting one, because nobody gave them a chance. Nobody ever believed that they were going to win Arsenal. I mean, a very strong side that is top of the Premier League table, and that many people, including myself, already said we're going to win the Premier League title this season. But the way it's looking, it's a bit shaky. It's really difficult now to just conclude that Arsenal would win the Premier League this season. But I mean, we're here, of course. We're all ready for the show, you understand? So we'll just be on the lookout to see how the season is going to end. But man, I was super happy for Manchester United yesterday, in that encounter. Of course, Arsenal were the first to score, and then immediately they got that goal, which was an own goal. More friends started saying, you see what I was telling you, there's no how Manchester United was going to win Arsenal. But then, of course, I was calm, and then even though Arsenal had, a good percentage of the possession in that game yesterday, I think for the first 10 or 20 minutes or thereabout, Manchester United didn't even make any attempt on goal. But Arsenal in the first half, I remember they got up to 4 or 5 corners, and you know how very good they can be with set pieces and all of that, you understand? So they got their goal. Manchester United equalized. I'm trying to remember who scored. It was Mbeumo that got the goal. Yeah, I remember. So Arsenal got the first goal. Mbeumo equalized for Manchester United, and then before you knew what was happening, I think Arsenal doubled their lead. It was 2-1, and then that master strike from Patrick Dogu that, many people were arguing was a handball, but as far as I'm concerned, it wasn't a handball because he first hit his leg before he now touched his arm. So Dogu got Manchester United back into the game. It was 2-2, and I already concluded that it was going to end at 2-2. And then, of course, Michael Carrick, a very brilliant manager with what we've seen so far, brought in Matheus Cunha, who didn't also start the last match. So he was introduced yesterday, and then before you knew what was happening, there was that 1-2 touch between he and Bruno Fernandes, and then he got Manchester United the whole 3 points. So the game ended 3-2 in favor of Manchester United. And that goal, I can argue that that's like the goal of the season, because you see where they take that shot from outside of the 18-yard box. That guy, thank God, many people didn't see that victory coming. So, and it takes Manchester United 4th into the Premier League table. If the season ends now, Manchester United are playing Champions League next season. Can you imagine? Football is just very, very crazy. How fortunes can very quickly just turn around in favor of some clubs. It's just crazy. But then again, it reminds me of something I know I said, in one of my videos some time ago, that as a coach, if you want to get the best out of your players, always try to build a strong, positive relationship with them. If you want to get the best out of them, don't always don't always sort of try to impose yourself on them and make them look less of themselves, or make them look like they don't know what they are doing. All right, I think that we've seen that so far in the relationship between these players and Michael Carrick since he came on board. Even when he substitutes players, you can see him, moving towards the player and trying to hug them and trying to, make them feel good. You understand? So ordinarily, if you don't understand football, you would assume that or you would question why he's always keeping Shesko, Cunha in the bench and playing Mbuemo, in the striker position. All right, but we've not seen any of these players. That's talking about Cunha now or Shesko coming on board and then not giving their 100%. We've seen them come in and then they deliver, even when they're coming in as substitutes. All right, so I think that's one culture that Ruben Amorim really lacked, in his time, and we're seeing Michael Carrick trying to sort of revive that culture at Manchester United, and it's really paying off. All right, so I know many people are already questioning whether or not he deserves, a full-time role. Now, if you ask me, I feel like he deserves, even though it's okay to argue that it's, quite early to just ask him to go ahead as the manager of the team, but I feel like he deserves that full-time appointment to really show what he's got. What matters is that the players are comfortable with him, and I feel like they like his pattern of play. I mean, if not for anything, for the fact that he's playing these guys in their natural position. So that's why, like, you see them giving their 100%. You see them bringing in their A game into the game, and then, yeah. So congratulations to the team. I mean, Patrick Dogu. I mean, you see one thing in this life, it's not always good to quickly conclude about people. I mean, it's not always good to just very quickly reach conclusions about individuals. That game yesterday, if you watched it from the beginning, you discover that Patrick Dogu was making, some silly mistakes here and there. And then at some point, I was shouting at him. I was even saying that why was he even included in the lineup in the first place? That he needs to leave the club and all of that. But you see what he did. That he scored that very wonderful goal, and I like that his confidence keeps improving, and I think he's just 21 or thereabout. Yeah, so congratulations to him, and it just shows what we can expect from him moving forward. I mean, everybody brought in their A game. We didn't see so much mistakes from the players, people like Diego Dallo, who have become used to making mistakes. We didn't see that yesterday. Bruno Fernandes, he's always delivering, always, bringing in his A game. Congratulations to him. I mean, he's one person that Manchester United cannot afford to lose. I mean, I know I saw that conversation somewhere that Chelsea was offering Cole Palmer to Manchester United, and reason being that I don't know how true it is that he was missing his community or whatever, and that he needs to return to Manchester, where he can get to reunite with friends, family, and all of that. I don't know how true that is, but I mean, there were reports that that's why he really wants to go to Manchester United, because it's not really finding life funny and interesting at Chelsea. And if that's going to happen, there were reports that Manchester United would have to let Bruno Fernandes go. Chelsea were offering Cole Palmer to Manchester United for £100 million or more. I don't think the player is worth it at this moment. And I think it would be really unfair for Manchester United to let Bruno Fernandes go. For whatever reason, I mean, that guy has sacrificed a lot for this club, and I really want him to stay back. He's won a couple of trophies, but I want him to stay back and really, sort of reap the fruits of his labor. Particularly, I want him to stay in the club and win the Premier League and win the Champions League. I mean, it's very much possible. You can argue, but I know it's possible. Manchester United, with the current way they are playing, if they continue like this and then they try to strengthen a few positions, like Dalit has been out for some time, so it will be very important for them to at least add one central defender and then strengthen the midfield position, especially because Casemiro will be leaving the club very soon. I mean, then there will be a club to beat. I mean, they will be one of the strongest sides in the Premier League. So as it is currently, I can boldly say that Manchester United would finish in the top 4 of the Premier League tournament this season. I don't know what your opinions are, but you're free to share them in the comment section. Do you think Manchester United, with the level of commitment that they've shown so far, are going to finish in the top 4 of the Premier League this season? Just share your thoughts on the comment section. And do you also think that Arsenal, with what we've seen so far, I mean, they've lost how many points now? I think the game before Manchester United, I think they drew it. Yeah, against Nottingham Forest, I think. So they've lost about 4 points, about 5 points from 2 games. And it's really telling on their chances of winning the Premier League, because you have clubs like Manchester City really bouncing back. Of course, so at this moment, it's Manchester City and Manchester United that are contending for that title. If you ask me, I'm not even putting Chelsea inside the calculation self. Yeah, so just share your thoughts on the comment section of where you think Manchester United will finish this season. I mean, with the performance that they've shown so far. About Cole Palmer, I don't think it would be wise for Manchester United to go for him. That's my personal opinion. Even though he's a very, very good player, very creative. I mean, and there are no dull moments with him, but I don't think Manchester United would be the place for him. Yeah, so just share your thoughts on the comment section. Where do you see Arsenal finish? Is it going to be the usual near success syndrome that has really sort of affected the club over the years? So I don't know who is next in line. You know, with the way the ginger is now, Manchester United are most likely going to beat all the top teams in the Premier League this season. So next in line should be Chelsea. Or they should just bring Chelsea, make Manchester United teach them how to play football. But I don't know. I'm not really impressed, with what I've seen in the transfer market. It doesn't look like the club really wants to, boost their team with new players. I've not seen, except maybe they are planning to do some late transfers this January. But I know that there are a couple of names in that midfield position list, especially as Casemiro is going. Of course, we know that Kobe Mino is already existing in that position and is going to definitely take over from Casemiro. But of course, he needs someone else who is very strong. But of course, we wait to see what happens, before the transfer season ends. And this is me wishing Manchester United well. This is me wishing Michael Carrick well. He's shown a lot of commitment, and I feel like he deserves, to be manager on permanent basis. Yeah, so just share your thoughts on the comment section, and thank you very much for watching. To all Arsenal fans, Makuna just go the pray, so it will not be another wasted season in the Premier League. Thank you very much. Bye for now.